Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of WrestlePurists Worldwide. I'm joined by Joe Hulbert and Manny, who always pops himself with his screen name. I've only just noticed it. We're here to talk. We're going to probably talk about Sasha Banks. We're going to talk about the weekend's final battle, NXT, news that's come out today, such as Regal being apparently he's agreed a deal to become vice president over in WWE. AEW has a new producer, and there's been all kinds of like rumors and stuff that are circulated throughout the day. So we're going to get into it. But first, Joe, how are you?
I'm terrific, mate. I'm absolutely wonderful, as you see by my extravagant lights display behind me. Happy holidays, everyone. It's been snowing here as of late, Monty, as I was telling you last night. Very exciting times. Apparently, there's wrestling on too. The final battle aired on Saturday, which I haven't told Monty this, but I always use it as a literal excuse to stop watching wrestling. I treat that with the respect it should. That'll be the end of my year, folks, but I'll be here for WrestlePurists Worldwide nonetheless. To answer your question, Monty, I'm very good. How are you? Oh, he's bless his heart. He's still coughing. Monty, are you all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. You know, right? Getting by. For those that don't know, I've got COVID apparently. So apparently, according to the tests and the research that I've taken out. So I'm coughing up a little bit, so I might be going on mute and off mute and all that kind of stuff. But more importantly, Manny the Hooper.
Calm down, Monty. Put back your glasses back on. Sorry, I couldn't continue it.
Wait, what just happened?
I know what he was trying to do. Have you not seen it, Joe? The Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Shannon Sharp's getting all heated and he's like, put your glasses back on.
He said, calm down, put your glasses back on.
He said that with like genuine disgust too. Like, what are you doing right now? Have you taken your glasses off in an argument about
Yeah.
He pushed Shannon there, man. That was dangerous. He pushed him.
I was planning on when I was gonna bust it out, and then like as soon as I said it, I couldn't continue with the bit because it was just so funny.
Good shit.
Skip's always he's a content creating factory, I like Skip Bayless. But yeah, I've got COVID. The other guys are in perfect health, as you can see.
Yes.
Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, super chat if you're feeling generous, all that good stuff. What should we start with? Karl Anderson.
Right? Yeah, that's a good idea. How long ago, Monty? How long ago did I tell you that he was dropping it to Tamatonga at Wrestle Kingdom? Right? He
was always going to make the big show. That's what he does.
I have a big question for you.
Go on.
And I know what you're going to say. I don't pick the nominees, the fans do, and all that whole shit you come out with. Why is the Machine Gun Karl Anderson not up for Booker of the Year? That's my question. This appears to be the only angle that has like somewhat fooled people in 2022. It gives us centrist wrestling fans someone to vote for, to pop ourselves, rather than just pretending to watch wrestling that we don't. Monty, I want an answer. Why is the Machine Gun not on the ballot?
We just didn't have the fan demand at the time, unfortunately. If we would have collected nominations now, I believe that he would have been the favourite to win the award. But it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. All
right, but he's working Wrestle Kingdom anyway, folks. That was the story. Manny, are you excited about this?
No, not really. I'm not really excited for another Karl Anderson semi-bright lights match at the Tokyo Dome.
Semi-bright lights is crazy.
Listen, bro. He dropped the big performance last time when the bright lights were on. He's
on Raw,
He's working on. No, not Raw. The last one that he done in what is it? The Never Open when he won the belt.
That one was pretty good, yeah.
The one when he first said bright lights. I'm sure it was then.
I don't know, man. He went out there and had a stinker with Tanahashi. My viewpoint on
that is hard. that is hard to pull off. Even though Tanahashi is like, he's seen better days, but he's still Tanahashi. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's kind of how it goes in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Karl Anderson, obviously WWE contracted wrestler, will be at the Tokyo Dome show for the New Japan Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, this is I believe this is like one of the first times WWE, or maybe the first time ever, that a WWE contracted wrestlers been on a Tokyo Dome show. Apparently, this has always been the plan. It was actually reported by Fightful back in October that Karl Anderson was always kind of in the plans for this Tokyo Dome show, even before he left Impact. So that was obviously going to be one of the things that, came up when he signed for WWE, because he was the never open weight champion. Some people thought he was backing out. Yeah, he's not. He does what he wants because he's a big star. All jokes aside, though, apparently Karl Anderson is very, very, very highly thought of in New Japan, which has always been something that pops in. So.
He used to be the guy who would like recommend and help Ghetto find US talent back in the day. Generally, and people will know this even better than I will, but like you can generally tell when guys are being featured in a way where they'll have like a spotlight thing at Tokyo Dome. And it seemed pretty obvious to me all along that Tama Tonga's thing would be that he would get this belt back because they've pushed him in a way where like he has to be in something at the Tokyo Dome, right?
Yeah, 100%.
If you kind of look down, look, guys, I know it's not like a huge match, but that's just a way to give him like a moment at Wrestle Kingdom, right, as a singles wrestler, and that's why I think the plan has always been, as you just kind of alluded to. So
it's one of those things that pops me as well, because it's like what you said, it might not be the most exciting to us fans, especially in this side of the world as well. But like I said, like Karl Anderson is very highly thought of in New Japan. Tama is genuinely like one of the most overacting the company at the moment. So, big bit of business.
I'm sure it's cool for them personally too, right? Like it's because it's a cool deal to wrestle a singles match at Tokyo Dome. So look, it will not be the match everyone's talking about when Wrestle Kingdom's done. I don't think I'm going out on a limb to say it, but I think this was always the obvious outcome. This thing, so it'll be fun.
The one thing I am gonna say about this whole thing is Tony's very nice letting him do this, because New Japan didn't let the Lucha Bros or Andrade on Forbidden Door. Tony, the bigger man here in this scenario.
That was a weird talk. We were supposed to get Andrade versus Ospreay.
I know, Monty. I know. I played it on 2K.
I played it.
That was fucking awesome, man. Incredible bit.
We got a super chat. Dio Loki, $4.99. Appreciate you always. TK was very nice for allowing the Carl WK appearance to go through. Yeah, man. What Manny said.
Also, WWE saying their best in Karl Anderson, and AEW saying their best in Sasha Banks and Kenny Omega. Just
that is crazy. The way you just put that, like, even though we all think that's where it's going, you put it as AEW sending their best, Sasha Banks.
Well,
look, that's where a lot of us are assuming it's going, but that's kind of crazy. I don't want it. You're not even on that path yet, but like, even if
I'm still not sold. I'll happily get proven wrong because who cares,
Monty's gonna be Sasha Banks will be in AEW for a year, and Monty I don't think it's gonna be a long term thing.
Yeah, that'll literally be like every step of the way. But
she gets the all leave graphic. I just don't think it's happening. I think she might be at the Rumble.
Yeah, that's literally what we're. No, yeah. Has there been any more Sasha Banks news? Like I was saying to Manny in one of our group chats, it's literally all we spoke about. And if we'd done a Sasha Banks thumbnail today, it would have been 3 in a row. And it's like, considering nothing has actually developed or changed, other than she's booked for Wrestle Kingdom, Yeah. Dave has kind of elaborated on it a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty much the same news. Like nothing else has changed. So, Sasha Banks, she's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. She's going to be appearing there. There's been some updates, rumors, whatever you want to call it, voices of wrestling. And man, we'll see what happens. I guess there hasn't really been any more updates with as far as the AEW side of it, but there has been updates for the New Japan thing. Obviously, like I said, Dave Meltzer, he confirmed with his New Japan sources that it's a thing that's happening. The voices of wrestling kind of went into details about how that came together, the price range and stuff she was asking for.
Rossi saw the paper of how much she wanted. They closed it and slid it back and said, no, we can't do that. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, oh yeah, we can do it, but just only maybe like a handful of dates.
Yeah. So, so apparently, Sasha when she first walked out of WWE, Stardom apparently got in touch with her like immediately. But Rossi was straight on her phone. Apparently, she expressed interest with certain wrestlers. She wanted to wrestle there, and it sounded good. But apparently, they couldn't come to anywhere near of an agreement when it came to the price. I ain't even putting that comment up for
no. You don't have to.
Yeah, apparently Sasha and Stardom couldn't come anywhere close to each other on price, and yeah, that kind of broke down the negotiations for a short while, and then apparently the Bushiroad, the parent company that owns New Japan and Stardom, were like, "Now let's get these conversations back on the road. Let's try and get her for a couple of appearances." So yeah, apparently that price, like Dave's report when he was talking about WWE kind of being priced out of what Sasha wants to do. That price tag is still seeming pretty large.
So, and what we do know is it's more than what Chris Jericho was getting paid for his in his contract for New Japan. So
here's the thing with this feels like a potential moment in where, to me anyway, this is bigger than just like one great talent being brought in to work some dates, right? Because I think if you were making this move, the idea would be like there's clearly been a spike in popularity for the Joshi scene in general, right? And I think we've all seen that. I mean, Monty used the head honcho of this thing, apparently. You would have seen it, right? Like the coverage and such that we even do for the Joshi scene. And like that was something you were passionate about featuring on the site, even though that's not something you watch closely. You know it has to be there, right? Like it's an increasingly relevant part of wrestling worldwide. And the reach of that scene is like expanding regularly. And this is the kind of thing that feels like it's like you've been building these blocks, and this is the kind of thing that can finish that deal off, right? Like there will be a lot of people that would watch Mercedes wrestle. And again, what that looks like in terms of the talk there will be like surrounding the IWGP belt, which I know that's slightly different, is a new thing. But I think there's definitely a chance this is like a real eye-opening thing for a lot of fans. I'm not saying that every Sasha Banks fan will follow her to, watch her matches in Japan, but like I think a sizable amount will, and that's a lot of people, man. She's a big, big star. So it feels like a potential game changer, even if it is only a couple of days, man. It's a big deal,
Yes, we were speaking. I think we were speaking about it a few months ago on podcasts and stuff, and we was like, how many game changers are really left? And we was like, Roman, obviously, but he's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Then we was all pretty much unanimously agreed with Sasha's one as well, because Sasha's super interesting as well, because she can either blow up the Joshi scene, or she can fix AEW's women's division and be like the big ace over
Tony
there.
Storm already did it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a really interesting thing, and she's also what makes her a unique kind of asset in this situation is not only is she a big time star, but there's also, no one is questioning what Mercedes can do inside the ropes, right? This is not like a WWE star who's like, would they fit in with, like, come on, no one's doubting that shit. It's her, like, she's one of the best wrestlers the game has got. So I think she's very unique in that way. Again, we don't know the regularity of appearance and stuff, so that will be a deciding factor in terms of how big a deal it is or isn't. Monty's not even sure that we'll see her on one of those promotions we were just talking about, so we'll see. We'll let it play out. But, we had that conversation, and I think we landed on Mercedes being the obvious choice for a reason. It's very, very compelling. And as a fan, just, watching on here, I think it goes without saying that it's a more intriguing scenario than just a WWE return. Now, look, if the WWE return happens, that's fine. That's whatever. Like, she's going to have great matches there because, of course, she is. But, this feels like a big, big story. And watching it play out would be fascinating. Her going back to WWE is like, cool. She's been great there. She's always been great there. But it's very familiar because we've done it before, right? We've seen how it goes out. So,
okay, so if Sasha goes back to WWE, obviously she's like one of the greatest all-time American women's wrestlers. But I feel like if she was to wrestle AEW and go to Japan, add that to her catalog of matches, it takes her legend status to a different level, you know,
Yeah.
because she did it elsewhere, and she has the matches to back her. And
Mhm.
she would be, and now people would consider a U.S. legend, you know, U.S. women's legend. She'd be considered like international, you know, with all the other great women's wrestlers
Yeah.
from Japan and all that.
And there would be a legacy boost if she was the person that, to use Monty's phrase, fixed, you know, the AEW division or shined the light on the Joshi scene and kind of brought international exposure. I mean, that's also part of it, right? It's very interesting. I mean, I think you could argue there's a higher like risk reward dynamic with that move because it's just the unknown, right? We don't know what that looks like. We don't know what that, you know, Tony Khan booking Mercedes Moné is an interesting thing to kind of explore. It would look, let's be real about it. He would have to feature in a way that he's never featured a women's wrestler before. I don't think I'm talking out of turn to say that. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Mercedes would be their biggest star, you know.
Yeah,
so,
she would have to come in like how Punk came in. Like she would have to have like her own segment of the show like every week.
Right. Now,
You know?
here's the thing that's interesting about that is wherever anyone stands on Mercedes as a promo, she's not CM Punk on the microphone. Right? I think that's unfair to conclude that.
Come on.
So it's like that makes it interesting because then how do you present her as a weekly feature on Dynamite? I mean, I think it goes without saying there should be a lot of main event matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to kind of build that squad, and I think there's women there she can have great matches with, but that would be an interesting thing to figure out too.
And also, like when Jericho went to New Japan, it added a different level to his legacy because what he did to New Japan as a business, and then if you look at Jon Moxley, what he did for AEW, it added another level to his candidacy of being a legend and all that. I think Sasha's going to get the mix of both, you know, from the AEW side and the New Japan side, and I don't know. I just think it'd be a lot more fun and more interesting than if she just goes back to WWE, where she's gonna have the same boring matches that she always has. Not boring matches, but the same opponents.
Yeah, same matchups. You know, there's nothing particularly overly exciting. You know, there's probably less than 5 matches. You know,
they're like fresh and yeah.
Well, look, man, Sasha, Madison Reigns. Now we're talking. You know, on Rampage, and Rampage special. You know.
The one that intrigues me, look, obviously it goes with saying, like, I want to see a wrestler like Riho and Shida and Jamie and like all those matches, they go without saying. But the one from a like box office point of view is Jade, right? Because it's like Jade with the undefeated record. Forget the match quality for a second. Like I'm actually very confident Mercedes could have a good match with Jade because have you seen like her track record? She's pulled off some pretty incredible things in ring. But even forget that, even if you think the match wouldn't be good. That feels like a huge deal if you promote it correctly, to me anyway. You know, that kind of thing. The promotion part of it?
Yeah, that's where I struggle with like Sasha. I just hope if she does go into AEW that it's done right and the way that it should be done, you know, because like you were saying, Joe, he would have to book Sasha in a way that he's never booked female talent before.
I get
you.
You see what I'm saying?
Then, you know, look, Sasha's for lack of a better term and to be polite, she's a big personality. She's going to have big ideas. She's going to be very firm on those ideas. You know, it's definitely a scenario that will be interesting to see how it plays out, no matter what happens, you know.
The Tony Khan Mercedes Moné dynamic could be something, you know. That could go in multiple ways. I just like there's a lot of things you could do with a talent of that caliber, with a star of that caliber. It's a very, very rare mix right there with her. So I think everyone involved should try their best to make that work if they can, but we'll see.
100%. We got a couple more super chats. Side Wrestle 499. Do you think we see Sasha Banks versus Corey for the IWGP Women's Championship at Forbidden Door 2023 in the United Center? I think we see the match, but I don't think it will be at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I think you'll see it quite a ways before that, actually. Jamie says, we should defer to here because he absolutely knows much more of what's likely to happen than we do. But he seems to think that the first match will be a tag, and then they'll head in the direction of Sasha and Kairi. So, yeah, I think
it depends on how many. I guess it depends on how many appearances they've got for. Because if it's really, really limited, I doubt they're going to burn one on a tag. You know, they'll probably just get to the big hitters straight away. But if they have her on, Jamie mentioned in the live chat earlier as well, if she's on like a similar deal to what Kairi's on, back at Stardom because Kairi's not full time at Stardom. She just
Oh,
does the big
fuck.
shows mainly. You okay, man?
I think somebody's cooking salsa or something, bro. They're freaking. Oh shit! They're fucking with my eyes.
Oh. But yeah, if she's got a similar schedule to Kairi, then yeah, you can
I'll be
burn
right
a few
back.
tags and- Jesus. Yeah, like in answer to the super chat anyway, I think the match happens before then anyway. Forbidden Door, summer 2023, it's a bit of a while away. So yeah, appreciate the super chat as always. Darren Walker, £5, appreciate you.
Oh yeah,
who you got?
they're roasting jalapenos, bro. What the hell? You don't even got the fan on.
Looking you up, bro. What's going on? Yo, Darren Walker, £5, appreciate you. Who you guys think will be the mystery partner for Saraya on the 11th of January at the Kia Forum with Warner Media executives being at the show too?
Well, I mean, if it isn't Mercedes, they should probably tell someone. I'll put it that way. Like, I'm not. That's my pick, Darren. I'm not obviously certain of it or confident. I don't know anything, but I would suggest if it's not her, that they make that very, very clear to someone who can,
Alicia
inform the
Fox?
masses.
Alicia Fox and
Anything's
Naomi,
possible, bro.
you know.
And listen, anything's possible. Johnny Elite once entered the Owens race with Samoa Joe. Never
Some
doubt.
of the names getting thrown around for that. Wasn't that the one where people
Claudio.
were really sold on Gargano or Bray Wyatt for that one? I remember.
Claudio was the one that a lot of us were thinking.
Claudio. I remember was what we even went out and said on podcast. But yeah,
it was Johnny Elite.
Gotta be, yeah, because Claudio posted that first Instagram post with his new name and stuff.
And Johnny, he locked up with Joe and elbowed him directly in the face, and Joe was like, "Well, it's a fun night we've had here. Maybe it's time to take it home."
Joe. Moving on from the Sasha stuff, I guess. One sec. Actually, in fact, Ben Dixon, $2 super chat. Sasha Stan's got mana.
There you go. Is that the reaction you give me when I put that Jade match up, bro? Got you quick, man. Got you quick.
Bro, man, I can't believe he's fucking cooking jalapenos fucking without the fan on, bro. Who does that kind of crap?
Brutal times. Feeling for you.
Tremendous stuff.
We got one last super chat, and I guess it can take us on to our next subject.
Okay.
I'll read it. Regal, we don't read super chats from the ops, all right? Move on, Monty.
Oh, William Regal.
How is that Stanford Supermax treating you? You Stanford stooge.
Why do you have to say like? Oh man, why have you turned on our guy Regal, man? It's
yeah, we can't. Monty and I legally can't involve ourselves in this, man. We're British.
You know
we can't do it.
Can't do it, bro. He's a hero.
You know, it's fine for you to get knighted, but then the queen's not there anymore, so your time is done, Regal.
Wait, what? Does that mean no one can be knighted now? That's how it works, man.
That's how it works in the moneyverse.
All right, Regal was one of our topics anyway, right? So it's probably
it's a good transition. You know what I mean? Our good friend. Thank you for the super chat as always. Very interesting picture as always.
Bro, that's such an awesome name, Blackpool Op Club.
It's not even creative. It's not even good.
He read it and popped and looked to the side like he couldn't control himself.
$1.99 super chat from Cody Willis. Appreciate it. Great show, but when it's the Jamie Noble grin along.
I gotta watch it. I saw there was a someone got the footage of it. I saw it was on YouTube. I retweeted about it. I didn't watch it.
I watched about a minute and a half of it. Popped huge,
Tremendous.
Jamie Noble hot dog, It's what you need.
I saved the memories and the Ring of Honor flashbacks. That's all I know.
Now that Honor Club is back, alive and well, I recommend everyone seek out James Gibson versus Roderick Strong. His last match before leaving Ring of Honor. Excellent match. So I think it's still one of Roddy's highest rated matches on the infamous cagematch.net. But nonetheless, Regal. Monty, what do we want to talk about with Regal?
So William Regal has officially come to terms on his new position with WWE and will officially start the first week of January. William Regal will have a vice president position. That's a report from PW Insider earlier today. A lot of people thought Regal was just going to be a coach. It's hilarious. What AO be normal in the fucking live chat challenge. Yeah, Regal's apparently going in the vice president position, even though people thought he was just going to be a coach. Yeah, obviously it looks like he's going to be one of Regal's right hand men. No, one of Triple H's right hand men.
Yeah,
not to the surprise of many of us, to be honest. But
no,
you know,
look, last week I gave a very an unnecessarily long monologue about it. I think someone actually sent a super chat and said it was romantic, which wasn't my intention. But I said last week that Triple H, it wasn't just a case of like wanting to have Regal around. Like the belief is that he kind of needs him around right now, right? And I think there was definitely a kind of widespread belief and opinion that Regal was going to be coming back in a pretty big way, not just to kind of hang around with Fit Finlay at the PC. Now, the question there is, what did Tony Khan know or not know in that regard? Was that just his phrasing when he said he's going back to be a coach, or was that literally what he thought he was going to do? I personally find it hard to believe that Tony just thought that was what Regal was going to do, based on the fact that we was very confident he was doing more than that. I'd assume Tony Khan knew. If I had a feeling, then I think Tony cracked the code. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know. What do you think?
I won't get into conspiracies on here, but you know.
Well, I think you will actually, Manny. I think you will.
When else are you gonna do it?
I'll say it for the late night grin, but
okay.
You know,
famous conspiracy platform, the late night grin. Right, fair enough. That's fair enough. Monty, what do you think, Tony Khan? Is he surprised by this, do you think?
I don't think so. I think the only thing you probably actually had agreed and was certain about is that he wouldn't be on screen. You know, at least for a year or so. I don't think Tony Khan's been caught off guard by this. To be honest. You know, obviously we all know what the relationship is like with Triple H and William Regal. They're very close. They work very well together. You know, when Triple H went down, when his health went down, and he was out of the picture, that's when Regal conveniently was fired by Vince McMahon. Yeah. So, you know, I don't think it's to the surprise of most people that he's quite quickly already reunited with Triple H again. And yeah, the on-screen stuff, I guess it makes sense. It's just kind of it's a small inconvenience for WWE. You know, they don't really do the on-screen authority thing. You know, they just kind of throw Adam Pearce out there if they need to make sense or something.
I was going to ask you that. Is he still on the TV regularly? For a while, Adam Pearce was all
really. Over. Yeah, I was going to say he's not on the TV as much. But like I said, if they want to do a match announcement or something, they know they can throw Adam Pearce out there. So, you know, it's not really like a big thing that they do storylines with anymore like they used to with the on-screen authority characters. So it's not like Regal's ever going to come in and, you know, all of a sudden be fucking 2003 Eric Bischoff or whatever the fucking, you know.
That'd be pretty good though. Can you imagine he just came out with Tabishi's theme? Without any explanation.
I love that theme.
It's one of the best ever, absolutely.
Yeah. Tremendous. Yeah. So Regal, he's just gonna kind of be, like I said, Triple H is right hand man. He's kind of my guess anyway.
This just proves that, you know, Triple H isn't creative enough and you have to poach another man from another company to bring him in, you know, to help him out. But, you know, Regal's going to be with this kid, you know, family man. I hope he makes the product good.
Do you? I'm not sure about that, man. I don't know if I believe
I know how Manny truly feels about family men, you know, so
yeah.
That was the biggest lie of what he said.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I don't think anyone's surprised. Right, it is what it is. We'll see if there's any noticeable effects on, you know, WWE programming and what that looks like, and we'll figure out kind of moving forward, if there's anything that's like noticeable as a viewer, like, oh, this has got better, this has got worse, whatever. It's a bummer. Like it's just as a fan, I enjoyed Regal a lot on AEW TV. It's a shame, but more than that, I just miss his podcast. I think that's giving it's a big loss for the game, man.
I just hope.
Go on, man. Go on.
I just hope Tony checks his office for any bugs and all that. You know, you don't want to.
I love that stuff so much. Competition. My favorite thing about that whole part of the story, like when people talk about it really seriously, is like, man, like, what do you think they don't already know about each other at this point? You know, like, look at the leaks that happen to wrestling media, and imagine the conversations that go back and forth. Like, because I saw someone said, "Oh, like Regal might know when some contracts expire." I was like, just ask the wrestlers; they'll fucking tell you pretty quick. If you want to know, like, it's an interesting time in that regard. So, I don't know. He definitely could have made some relationships with folks, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Right? It is what it is.
Yeah, it makes me laugh when you kind of like break it down. It's like, you know, Triple H goes down with bad health, Vince gets rid, and you know, Regal said, like, especially on the podcast when he was first coming into AEW, he said he was ready to just sit at home and retire, you know, and just kind of reminisce on the good old days and whatnot. But he got a phone call from Bryan Danielson. And out of respect for Danielson, he listened to his pitch. The pitch was obviously, you know, to do something in AEW. He came in, Blackpool Combat Club was formed. He provided a lot of great TV. I'm sure he popped himself, you know, getting to travel, doing one last TV run, you know, involved in some huge stories, working with some really great talented wrestlers, helping young talents like Willie U to come along, you know, and just being a wrestling guy, doing whatever you want to call it, doing sessions with Danielson in front of everyone, and
it's,
you know, and then now obviously his guy is back in charge, and he can kind of, you know,
pick up
wind down again, wind down, and that's where he's going to end up.
It's wild that like his first week back will be like almost exactly a year from when he left. That so much happened in that year, you know. Like the idea that's all it was, because that was when him and Joe got cut on like the first week of January, I think, right? 2022, around that range. It's insane how distant a memory that feels, but here we are. I don't think anyone's surprised. So yeah, we'll see how it kind of works out.
When I think of Samoa Joe's like last days in WWE, all that pops into my mind is you remember Mania when he's out in the rain in the punch?
How long ago, in your mind, how long ago is that?
At least 12 years ago.
Bro, that was April 2021. That is insane. That's like, when I think back to that, I can't fathom that's 2021. It's like, it's ridiculous to me, but, you know.
Yeah, a lot has, a lot's gone down. So, you know, Regal, but he's going back into a vice president position, which is a higher position. I'm sure it pays better than what he was getting before in his old job in WWE. So good for him. He's won, you know. He even got to have like a really great TV run. He's probably going to win at least our WrestlePurist best non-wrestler of the year 2022.
Who are you voting for, Manny?
I voted for Paul Heyman.
Bro, that is crazy. Tell me you're a mid-bit right now, bro. You have no
his eyes speak more. His eyes tell more than a promo would, you know. His facials tell more than it's like when you stare at a photo and like they say a photo is like 1,000 words or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what his eyes do. Is just Tribal Chief. Oh, and you know, like all his facial expression, like he's just
man, he don't even watch.
I swear you actively dislike this shtick, don't you?
I like Paul Heyman.
All right.
I like Sami Zayn.
You know.
I'll take your word for it, Manny. I'm not sure I believe.
I watched the YouTube clips.
You're not gonna vote. You're not voting for Stokely or Mark Sterling, man.
That's what I thought. I swore you were gonna say Mark Sterling. I was ready.
I was, but you know, he had that match with Danhausen. I said no, I can't.
Interacting with Danhausen.
And Stokely, I probably would have gave it to him, but he needed a little something more than just a dick riding promo. Just
Mhm.
and Joe, I call Kevin Owens Kevin Steen.
$5. Appreciate you. Big fan of when Manny loses steam and seemingly stops believing his own take mid sentence.
Yeah.
We've all seen it happen.
Happened
My
about 5
favourite
minutes
is when
ago.
he'll start a bit, then he'll get halfway through and be like, I can't do it.
Yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta respect
That's
it.
why I saved the bits for Twitter.
Yes, there've been no bits on this show. Good call, I agree. Not the thing you do. You wouldn't do that on
I-
Worldwide. It would never happen.
I have my wine bottle full of Pepsi, and I'm just on my phone just tweeting away saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get these people. How am I gonna piss off the Joshis today? How am I gonna get Hangman to snap?"
Okay, I respect that. Tremendous work, Manny.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Regal, Vice President, WWE. Like I said, man, good for him. Good for
Yes.
him.
I would agree. Monty, can we talk about Final Battle? It's the wrestling show I watched. It was a pay-per-view on the weekend. Did you see it?
We'll get there. Give me 5 minutes because there's probably not too much we can say about this, but because it's super chat, I feel prompted.
Okay, that's fine.
Mad King 1984, $2. Kevin Dunn's replacement working for AEW now. So this is in relation to another PW Insider report from today that the former vice president of global television production for WWE has been hired by AEW and will start at this week's AEW Dynamite taping. Michael Mansouri's official title is Senior Vice President and Co-Executive Producer for AEW. Apparently, he worked a lot with Triple H on NXT. He was, I believe, the wording was he was basically being groomed to be like the next Kevin Dunn for the main roster. Apparently, he's really great at what he does, which is, kind of the contrary to what you've heard about Kevin Dunn in recent years.
Yeah.
But Kevin Dunn has been like WWE's main producer for as long as most of the people watching this have been alive, So apparently he was meant to be the next big WWE producer, and I believe he left the company in 2020 when they were doing all the releases and stuff. And fucking why are we getting the weird super chats today?
I don't know, man.
So yeah, about AEW, Michael Mansour has ended up in AEW. A great get for them, apparently. I had multiple people reach out to me when we done our, when we aggregated the news and tweeted it. People literally reached out just to say how much of a good signing it was for AEW. Everyone in the business who you mentioned him to seemed to sing his praises. He's, like I said, he was kind of being groomed to be the next big producer in wrestling. So. He can actually fulfill that now, but just in a different company.
The Kevin Dunn thing will raise some eyebrows, but he has like a really, really strong reputation in a positive way, right? Like I think the general response from my very limited understanding is that people think this is a really positive move for AEW. People are very happy for him and for the promotion to get his work on board. So it's one of those things where it's like hard for us to. We don't know the guy.
I'm not
the guy, but it's like,
I'm not a producer, director. What
shit about what he does. Yeah, but it's like, I think it would be really nice now, 3 years in, if AEW had a more like established,
professional.
Honestly, I don't even care about professional.
Legitimate.
I don't even care about that. I just something that you can identify as like their feel and style of production. I don't know if this is the guy for that job. I am not qualified to know. I'm not saying he isn't. I genuinely don't know. But it would be nice if they had like a sort of style of production, like a feel that's AEW's way of doing things. To me, right now, they are just doing like a much more bearable version of what WWE do. It's like they just do less cuts, but they don't have like a particular house style in terms of production.
Where AEW overtakes WWE for like not having nauseating cuts and stuff, they lack in like actual like production value and you
Of
know,
course, yeah.
and like, you know, like camera angles and stuff like that. But
I'm not gonna let
they
you
can
get that off, man. There's some awesome camera angles for AEW sometimes where they zoom like that. I always remember that iconic Hangman one where he's just staring at the title. That's just like on the floor.
There's some good ones, yeah. Absolutely.
You know.
There's some bad ones too. This is like when Dax dressed with Danielson and they didn't have one fucking camera on the other side of the ring and they just had like the back of Brian while he tapped out. I was like, man, that's something.
Well, look, man. What do you want this to be, man? Like this isn't a.
This isn't a TV show or anything. Anyway,
this isn't the NBA. Come on, this isn't the NFL. This is pro wrestling. You know, sometimes you miss stuff.
It's more important. Anyway,
Sometimes it happens.
Purple Aki sent us £5 and asked us to get our muscles out. That's very worrying if you understand the law. Good bit of Scouse law going on right there.
Yeah, I don't think I understand the law.
You don't know about Purple Aki?
I don't think so, no. But I'm very, as you know, Monty, I'm very out of the loop. I've watched one of the wrestling shows.
This is a. I'll try. I can explain this law in like 60 seconds, I think.
Good luck.
Go. So around in Liverpool, this is a bit of Scouse law. It's not even my like local law. So there's a huge black guy called Purple Aki, and huge gym guy. And apparently he's been known to be quite inappropriate with people, going up to young teenage lads, asking if he can feel their arms and stuff like that. Ask them about gym and those sort of things, and you know, a bit of law. So apparently,
as your friend, how would you feel if I told you right now I knew exactly what the law was? We just wanted to see how you would tackle it on a WrestlePurists podcast.
I mean, you never know. So you said
admirable effort, brother. I appreciate it.
I thought I'd done pretty well.
You did. You really did.
Yeah.
You really did. I thought you did a good job. I just wanted to see how you'd approach that, but go on.
It's better than just like saying he's a huge nonce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought you tried to present some nuance. I don't know if you should have, but you did. I mean,
But yeah, he's a huge black Scouse man who tries to touch young lads.
Yeah, I don't know if you needed to like reiterate with that follow up. I think we would probably, but yeah, right.
No,
so Ring of Honor final battle.
People.
All right. Thanks for the super chat.
You know, we got him in the chat right now.
I've been told to encourage those. Thank you very much. But there was a pay per view, Monty. Is this a thing we talk about now?
There was a couple apparently.
Well, no, there wasn't. No, it wasn't. There was a premium live event, and there was a pay per view. Okay. Now, I don't know what you thought about this, Monty, because you've been very quiet about it. We've hardly discussed it, other than one match, which you did enjoy, I'm told. I am bemused and befuddled as to why it has taken us 44 minutes to get into what I thought was one of the best pay-per-views of the year. Our friend Manny the Hooper was in attendance, you know, in the front row
yesterday. So I'm trying to like keep it fresh, you know what I mean?
But this is worldwide.
I know, but you know, we got the
we need
late night
grin.
I respect the brand of late night grin, so I didn't want to, you know what I mean?
I respect that. Yeah.
That's
you know, some people this is the only thing they know about wrestling. You know, just they watch worldwide to keep them up to date. They don't even know the pay-per-view happened. They're saying, "Fuck, they must have cancelled Final Battle, man." This is, I don't know. Look, the chat sees right. I'm concerned right now, Monty. You're very quiet about Final Battle. You're very quiet,
bro.
It was Final Battle.
I was talking.
Look, we're gonna start talking about Final Battle and be like, oh, it was all right, but you want to talk about NXT Deadline? You know, you want to.
Manny, you agree with me? I'm alarmed by the energy.
Listen, these are accusations,
show,
bro.
Final Battle is a big
show.
You know,
bro, everyone knows. I love Ring of Honor as much as everyone.
Monty's gonna talk about the swing. Oh man, it was not believable. You know, who taps out to the swing?
Worried,
you know.
Bro. I'm worried.
Listen, I'm here. I'm here. Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Thank you.
Was a pay-per-view. It happened on Saturday, the 10th of December, 2022.
Oh,
it was headlined by Chris Jericho and Claudio Castagnoli for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. What?
Okay, star ratings. Go. Monty,
star ratings.
Come on.
Which ones do you want to know?
Okay, AR Fox tag. You don't have to explain yourself.
What did I give it?
Your
Or what
rating,
did we
yes.
give it?
Your
Fuck. AR Fox and Blake Christian versus LFO. That was the one with the fucked up thingy.
Yes.
I gave that 3 stars.
All right, that's fine. Move on. What do we have next, Manny?
Mercedes versus Athena.
Watch yourself, kid.
I gave that 3.4 stars.
All right, that's fine. Well, keep going.
Better than that.
It was definitely better, Manny. Please do not do this bit on this show. It was definitely better. Monty, keep going.
I don't like revealing my ratings.
Monty, this is not the time for it, mate. Your reputation's on the line. Your reputation's on the line. Keep going, please.
Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Shane Taylor and JT Cliff.
Oh no. Oh no. Go on.
I gave that 3.25.
All right, it's fine. A little bit low, but I thought you were going to go crazy there for a second.
Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassy.
Go on.
I thought it was quite fun. I gave it a cool 2.4 stars.
All right.
I agree.
You like this show? What's your complaining? What's the issue?
I'm not good. It's accusations. I had a good time.
Right, go on. Come on,
Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta. 3.75.
Still low.
Yeah, it's a
4.25. Carry on.
Garcia carried.
Yes,
anyway,
4.25. Carry on.
FTR versus Briscoes. I gave this 5.5 stars.
Okay, now we're talking.
Samoa Joe versus Jukes Robinson. 3.5 stars.
Oh, now we're talking.
That was real grabs. Low, very under the radar, real grabs. Carry on.
Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli. 3.74 stars.
Little low.
We are very close on all those ratings. So now I'm very confused by why you didn't lead with this. Like, you seemed so uninterested in this conversation.
Honestly,
it's almost the exact same ratings across the board.
It's because it's not what I was saying earlier to fucking, to reiterate myself. Obviously, for those that don't know, Late Night Green, they have a Sunday show. And Manny and Joe have already spent a couple of hours talking about Final Battle. So for me, being the polite host that I am, I thought, you know what, we'll talk about all the other stuff and then we'll get into Final Battle, Are
you saying I may have not, had to call you out and demand that you give your star ratings on there? Is that what you're saying? Seems what you're saying.
Maybe, just a bit.
I
Maybe
think,
I'm hinting at that,
I know you well enough that I think there were certain messages you sent me. Not text messages, just, unspoken. Little nods, looks at the camera. And what I got from that was that you felt, I'm going to say it, Monty, I'm sorry, this is on the I don't care, we're friends, right? I think that you thought Honor died on Saturday night. And I want to know why. You were very mad. I'm sorry. I know you well enough, Monty. Manny, hang on a second. This is important to me. Manny, please feel free to co-sign, but if you disagree, let me cook it. So I'm worried, Monty. You seem to think it's over. Manny, what you going to say? I'm sorry.
I think he liked the show, but then just like most people, Tony Khan went on that presser. He gave that whole thing about, hey, we got a streaming deal, and then they found out it was ROH. It was on Honor Club, and that's what they said the show sucked. After that.
Hang on a second. That was the plan all along. You didn't realize it. The plan was have Ring of Honor main event Dynamite every week in front of 1 million people, and then pivot and put them on the streaming app that famously has featured around 500 to 600 subscribers in its illustrious history of taking money from Joe Holbert's wallet. That was always the plan. I think you should have been prepared for that, really, is what I'm saying, Monty.
So, in answer to these outrageous accusations on my name, I believe in Ring of Honor. It's one of the only things I actually do believe in anymore. Thanks to the Briscoes, Dax the Axe, and Cash Wheeler. Honor's very alive. WrestlePurists is giving out only their third 5-star match in their illustrious history. You know, it was a special time. It was a special time. FTR versus Briscoes was followed by Samoa Joe in a match that I believe that 90% of the population of the universe thought was going to die, and it didn't.
A lot of people pretended it did for some reason. I don't know why that was a thing people did. Do you?
No, people. It's It's not like the crowd was just that good. I think it was like I don't even think the match, even though the match definitely I thought even over delivered. It didn't even need to because the crowd was so like into it. Like as soon as the bell rung, they were doing the Joe's gonna kill you chants at Juice. Like it was already, it's fucking Samoa Joe. Like, come on.
People seem to like Samoa Joe. That's what I've learned from this.
Except the one kid that was there.
Yeah, the one kid.
Wait, hold on. We've got super chats. A lot of them are just slandering my name, thanks to Joe. But hey, it's what we do.
We call that holding someone accountable, Monty. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Help, Monty Dictator. Help. He could have put comments and shit. Help, Monty Dictator threatened to suspend me. Then he left his cash out. Don't send Rob money, you don't deserve it. Showtown, $5, appreciate you. Monty was watching England lose instead of final battle, so that's just spiteful.
You could
that was actually like true for
the 0 hour.
It did. Yeah, I was gonna say it cut in. The first match I watched on the show was Mercedes versus Athena. I did watch obviously the other matches because I went back and watched them yesterday.
Do you know what Manny rated that match, the opener?
Which one? AR
4.5.
No, he didn't. He sent me 4.25.
Did he really?
I thought it was a typo. I'll be honest. I did think it was a typo.
Wait, but I was messing around. Did you actually rate 4.25?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was awesome.
All right, fair enough.
And I mean, look, guys, you guys had to be there inside the arena to understand what was going on. I thought I was gonna get hurt. I thought the place was gonna be burned down. It was very scary. Everybody in the arena wanted Roosh to kill the ref on live pay-per-view, and I thought he was going to do it once he grabbed him. And thank God none of that happened. The guy next to me said, "You think there's something? The guy next to me said, "You think something's going to happen?" And I said, "Because he got the same vibe." So, yeah, man, Roosh fucking rules,
Pop.
And
Rob said,
I want to say too, I didn't see the chair shots to the head, the head. All I did was hear them, and I thought Roosh was hitting the floor or something, and then until Joe told me yesterday, no, he was hitting AR Fox in the head, and like Christian, I said, oh my God.
I think it was Jalistico, right? Who hit the chair shot to the head. I think. Monty was it the chair shot to the head?
Manny was there.
Manny didn't see it.
I heard it.
Rob $2 super chat. Monty hates AEW. No, he doesn't.
I've heard that. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, I'll watch the product.
Sources, bro. The sources are saying some stuff.
Listen, I'll just I apparently hate everything. So
I've heard that. I've heard that too.
I love all wrestling. Bro. I watched a 59-minute Impact match last week. So that's how much I love.
What rating,
bro?
All right, give me like a range at least. I don't need the exact rating.
No, I'll be honest here. Josh Alexander, I really like him.
He's really.
I think Speedball, like he may not be as good as what some of his biggest fans say he is when they say that he should be wrestler of the year and stuff. That's just my opinion, though. He's a good wrestler, you know what I mean. Especially for like the standard that you see on the indies and stuff these days. He's like really good, but. Yeah, Alexander, Speedball, Mark Bailey, Impact World Championship, went 59 minutes, 3.74 stars.
Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I saw the reviews for it on Thursday night, and look, man, after I watched Frankie Kazarian and Diet Kurt Angle, man, I said I'm not gonna fall for it again. I'm not gonna sit through and watch.
That's what I did. What you did that couple of weeks ago. I thought Manny did it for Kazarian. I went on Cage Match, and I was like, I know Cage Match always inflate Josh Alexander's matches because that's kind of what the Impact fans do. You know what? God bless them. They're big into those matches. But it was like a 9.5 on Cage Match. So I was like, all right, cool. Fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? I've got an hour to burn. Let's just do it. Watched it, and it just I don't want to say they ran out of ideas 25 minutes in, but it definitely felt like a match that like it would have been like infinitely better if they just kind of condensed it into 25. You know.
Bro, you should have just said you didn't watch it, bro. Give him 59 minutes,
Look,
they give you 3 and 3/4.
Look,
many give a higher mark to that Roosh match.
Look, if you watch an hour of a match, you got to come out and say, man, look,
I couldn't do it, bro.
People were saying like it was match of the year, match of that. And I said, there's no way. You say that after this guy isn't freaking Okada out here having an Okada 2-year reign out there having match of the years. I'm not gonna believe it. I was gonna wait to a reliable source, aka Monty said something reliable. He said it sucked.
Hold up, though. This
there
is
you
important. Go, Manny. If you only watched AEW TV matches that Monty rated highly, do you know how fewer matches you'd have seen this year? Like, you know how different your year would. There are matches that Manny has given like 4 that Monty didn't even rate. He just refused. Threw them aside, you know, just dismissed them. He's like, no, in all seriousness, I would say, generally speaking, Monty, you're a pretty harsh grade when it comes to stars. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good thing, but you are, I would say, right? Generally speaking.
I mean, I guess obviously because we have our like big spreadsheet, so I see what everyone else rates matches. I do kind of tend to lean kind of on the lower side.
Yeah.
Wait, we have that?
Yeah, Monty does. Yeah,
I've got it. And myself and Parker have access to the.
So you just read Parker's.
Yeah, but it is Parker created it. I just fill it in. You know. I don't know how to use I don't know how to use the world skill of Microsoft. It's not even. I thought it was Excel. It's not even Excel. It's a Google Doc. So,
bro, yeah. I did that too. I started. I was like, I'm gonna do a spreadsheet. I opened up Microsoft spreadsheet. I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I said, you know what? I'll just go on my Google Notes and just write down every match that I like.
My God. Tremendous.
He is really good. Parker has done it for people in the past, though. So I'm sure if you asked him, man, if you just said to him, just send me a blank, spreadsheet that I can put matches in. I'm sure he's got it somewhere. But yeah, we've just got a big spreadsheet that's got like everyone's on it. It's even got Joe's match ratings from when he used to do them earlier in the year before he backed out like a coward.
Well, I mean, if I did my own ratings, I wouldn't be able to come here and judge both of your ratings every week, would I? I mean, that would be bad for my brand, you know.
I don't like the reason why I get weird about like giving out my ratings is because like who could possibly give a fuck? That's always kind of been more thinking about it. It's funny, like when I've got like 20,000 fucking followers or something, then maybe I'll just like volunteer them on the timeline and stuff. But I only do them out of necessity because I want to do these match ratings that we do weekly on the WrestlePurists website. So that's literally the only reason why I do them anyway. So
you sounded like a Hangman when people ask him what's his favorite, what are his lucha star ratings, and he's like,
Hangman loves finding out what I rated matches. Like he thinks
it's the same reason I do. Because
he thinks there's like a lore novelty behind it.
It's funny.
Look, guys. If you guys want it enough, I'll go watch the Josh Alexander and Mike Bailey match, and I'll write a review if you guys want it. Maybe. Joe,
did you ever post the Kazarian review?
Am I just supposed to post it? I don't know. Was that cleared? We could pass that.
I mean, like we said that it's best that it lives on the late night grin paywall rather than us just posting it publicly because it's a wild one. Yeah, it's we've even I think Jamie. If Jamie's in the live chat, he'll be able to say us. I think Jamie edited it, so it's literally like it's ready to go. Like you could literally like, copy and paste it from WordPress to Patreon. So
depending on how that goes, how people like the Impact one, maybe I'll go watch Alexander and Mike Bailey sometime this week and write another review on Impact. But I think it's for the best that one never goes on WrestlePurists because I think Monty would save me from getting killed by Impact wrestlers and fans. So.
Yeah, I think when you use the word embarrassing 8 different times, I think I told Monty this one might be a little bit too much. You know, we may have crossed the line, brother. Pun intended. So you like Final Battle was the conclusion, I think, of all this.
Yeah, you put me, bro. Like, anything with a match that I'll give 5.5 stars to, was a resounding success. Anything with Samoa Joe is a resounding success.
This is interesting. Seriously, this is an interesting star rating conversation. Which famously, those are
I'll be
interesting
right back,
conversations. Did it intrigue you in any way while we're doing this conversation about literal star ratings? Samoa Joe, Darby Allin got a lot of love from circles as like this one, right? And Dave came in, bless his heart. Shout out to Dave on A-Watches, 3 3/4. Now, that's his opinion, nothing wrong with it. But does that not feel like an encapsulation of where wrestling has trended in the sense that, like, I assume Dave just couldn't, like, it was only 10 minutes and Joe took almost all of it and he was just like, it can't be above this. It's my assumption. I haven't spoken to him about it, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Dave looks at it so literally.
Yes.
You know, like you said, it was a 10-minute match. Samoa Joe had all of it. It's like, how high can this go? Like, even though it was
but like,
you know, it's a shit. It was one of those 10-minute matches, a shot of adrenaline that's just fucking, you know, has you on your feet for 9 minutes 30 seconds of it. So,
how many alleged 4-star matches will we forget like that? We will absolutely remember Darby Allin and Samoa Joe. Like, we just will. Now, look, I'm biased, so if anyone disagrees, feel free to tell me. I could be way off on this, but like that match, I think will be memorable. I think people will like.
Yeah,
look
100%, 100%. It's like you said. The stuff that's like technically, you know, on the biggest geeks of geeks star rating scales, such as ours, like it might, you know, there's been matches that have been 4.25, 4.5, whatever, you know. But like, when it comes to actual, you know, being memorable and something that you can vividly picture back to, like, there isn't going to be many. There's probably less than 10 matches this year, but, you know, Joe sending Darby into the post like a spinning top, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fun. Like, it stood out to me because Dynamite has so many 4-star matches. Always, like their amount this year is probably ridiculous. No, I'm talking about in the Observer. I'm not saying your ratings. I know you've only given a couple of them.
You're free.
And to be fair, in the WrestlePurists star ratings, there's probably like 2 AEW matches a week on there with 4-star matches. Just Monty's just not rating them 4 stars, you know, but everybody else is.
Yeah,
listen, absolutely. I think our ratings, you know, we've got a few people who are like me, quite harsh with the ratings. You could say, well, I'd say harsh in comparison. We've got people who go insane, like Manny giving that LFO match 4.
Bro, it was vibes. It was vibes. You go out there and you would come out there just a different man.
What? You know, we've got people who are kind of in the middle, like who would I say is like in the middle? Rob is quite in the middle. He's not harsh, but he doesn't get carried away like Chris and Manny do. Chris is hilarious. Like,
let's not. This is don't go out there and throw it out. Like I'm not out here giving. I give out some, you know, some. Like, I'll read you guys my ratings. Let me find them. Since Monty,
I've got them right here, bro. I've got them right
really. This is my fault. I've really.
You know, this is great. This is content that people want to see.
Okay, so maybe Dynamite went a little crazy, but you know, whatever. Samoa Joe, Darby Allin, I went 4.75. The Acclaimed and FTR went 4.25. Moxley Takeshita, I went 4.25. Orange Cassidy and Trent, I went 3.5. Jeff Cobb and Mascarada, 3.25. Matt Bernard and that 2.0 in that cheeseburger match, I went 2.5. Willow Nightingale, I'm not gonna say that one. Top Flight versus Kingdom, I went 4. Yeah, I did go 4.5, 4.25 on the AR Fox one. I'm not gonna say the Mercedes Martinez one. Shane Taylor match, I went 4. Dalton Castle and the boys, I went 2.75. And then Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson, I went 3.25. And Chris Jericho and Claudio, I went 4.5.
You went 5 on Briscoes as well.
Oh yeah, I did. I don't break scales. I did it once, and then I realized there was better matches than that one that I broke the scale for. So then I just ended up going back to just regular 5s.
I've broke the scale twice, and they're both for FDR versus Briscoes. Yeah, and only one of them is actually like one that's like, because like the first Briscoes match, which is the one that I'm talking about, was before we started doing actual match ratings. But I'd probably give that about 5.5 stars as well.
Look, man, Hangman's a hater. You see what he's saying in the chat. That's what he is. He's Jericho hater. He doesn't appreciate what Jericho did to Ring of Honor. He brought it back from the ashes, the Ocho. Look, and Hangman, you weren't there for the opener. You weren't there for that ecstasy match. You weren't like you.
Ecstasy match. Hold up. The ecstasy match is what we're calling it now. One with Blake Christian. Did we get the wrong pay-per-view feed on this one, Monty? What happened here?
Bro, I saw it, and like I said, I thought it was a typo. Let me just blast through these super chats.
Good idea.
Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you. FTR versus Briscoe's best tag team feud in years. The books should be watching and taking notes rather doing their.
My God!
Look, Darren. People
were.
Look, I'm going to say
crazy,
something about this. People were over here getting mad at me and all that over this weekend for saying that the Young Bucks can't do what FTR did, can't have a Southern brawl, and people were just like, "Well, look at the Lucha Bros cage match. Not the same thing." And FTR can't have lucha matches like the Young Bucks. I mean, it's all right, guys. These teams can't do it all. Besides maybe the Briscoes, they can do both. But
Yeah. So I'll try to read it out without laughing. FTR versus the Briscoes, best tag team feud in years. The book should be watching and taking notes rather than doing their floppy gymnastics routine. It was definitely a more extreme version of what Manny said.
Yeah.
Manny
did come pretty close to that.
Young Bucks are great at what they do.
Yeah.
They're great at different things, FTR versus Briscoe. And I do kind of agree with the sentiment that I don't think the Bucks could go out there and have that kind of match. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think that. I'm trying to think of like a really recent Young Bucks match.
The match they did in California with the Lucha Bros is obviously like that's just FTR would just never have that match. That was an insane. Remember the match they didn't even do like a heat.
Yeah, they can do.
It was like 10 minutes, right?
The faster pace, more like dynamic spots and stuff like that, and just kind of like bang, 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 bang. Like Young Bucks are the masters of that style. You know what I mean? Whereas, and that makes for better certain matchups. Like Lucha Bros is always kind of the one that people will come to because everyone knows they're one of the best tag teams in the world. But the FTR matches were kind of like they couldn't find the right layout and dynamic to really get what people were hoping to get out of those matches. So
I personally think it gets a little bit overstated how like bad those matches were. I don't really.
They just weren't. They weren't like I said, because Lucha Bros have this reputation as genuinely like one of the best tag teams in the world. People are like FTR Lucha Bros. It's going to be 4.5 star floor.
100%. I get you. They just play different music, man. Like it's. I think obviously, Monty and I especially, Manny, somewhat. I think these FTR Briscoe matches were more for us. I think but I don't think that means they're better on like an objective level or anything. It's just a taste thing. They have different types of matches. They have different strengths. They make you feel different emotions. Young Bucks are more like outwardly exciting.
Yeah, 100%.
So FTR, to me personally, I find there's a different kind of emotion. Like the way they present drama is very, very different in wrestling. So
I don't know. I saw when I made this argument, I saw people throwing up the Bucks and SCU and Bucks and Mox versus Eddie. I mean, I don't really think
Well,
the Bucks.
because there was blood. Like, this is what I mean, bro. Like,
Yeah, I think
people
people
saying
just
that
equate blood
don't
to it.
get what it means. Like, just because there was blood doesn't mean it was like
Right.
this heated, intense Southern fucking brawl
Mhm.
that took you back to 1988. You know, like,
Yeah. But you've
Because,
got to be, in fairness though, FTR and the Briscoes are like the only two teams that can do that. Like, really, if we're being honest about it, like, guys can try and walk
to that level, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
there's no one else probably ever. You know,
I said-
like
I
even
said-
if you
I
go
think-
back to those 80s tag teams, like the way that FTR and Briscoes kind of married each other in that style, like.
Brother,
Yeah.
they're two of the top two teams in the world ever. You know, like they're great teams. Carry on, Manny. My bad.
So I was gonna say the Mox and Bucks, the Bucks versus Mox and Kingston. I think that was a modern take of the Southern match. I don't think you could transport that match back to the 80s and it'll get like the same reaction. But
they plugged in their offense, which is modern. By a good
yeah.
word,
And then the SCU match. I mean, the match. People just remember the match because Kazarian has a blood red eye now, which rules. But just I mean, I wish I could walk around with an eye like that. But like that match. It's only remembered because of that.
And married, and he's good. You know.
I don't know. I think I would agree with you. Those aren't what you're describing. I would agree. I think there was definitely, because you're saying it's a brawl, which is a different thing. Eddie and Mox versus the Young Bucks definitely had a lot of the ingredients of like a Southern tag because they did double heat. They got a Moxley hot tag. They cut Mox off with interference, and then they got more heat and fed Eddie's hot tag. The Young Bucks are very versatile. Can they do the match we saw on Saturday? Probably not. There are probably two teams that can do that, and we saw them do it on Saturday,
And people got mad at me because I just said, I wish I can see the Young Bucks have a dog collar match or something like that. And I just want to see their take on it. And people got mad at me for even saying that. They're like,
I get you.
They would be better than FTR and all that. I'm like, guys, we can all agree that these teams are all better than the Usos, but come on, we don't got to put all these teams against each other,
Look, honestly, man, I think we're talking about like teams that will be on the all-time list and already are on that list. Like, and they're in different ways. Like, if you were to argue the Young Bucks case, you would point to different things in terms of their influence and their impact on wrestling directly with AEW even forming. With FTR, maybe you would point to the fact their work is more like timeless in that way, right? Or maybe a certain emotion it gives you is different, or the physicality, whatever way you want to argue it. But I think you're talking about, two classic teams. And I do fear a little bit that while there's a lot of, we're having fun and talking shit back and forth, it's like at some point we're losing sight of just, enjoy them, man. I don't think either team is going to be wrestling full time for like another, 5 years. I would imagine they're both winding down here shortly. FTR are going to get this next contract, and that'll be probably their last big one. Young Bucks, I know, have been talking about one down for a while now. So I think I was
quizzing Charlie about the Young Bucks stuff. So they always like do these weird like hints, like we haven't got many left, and it's like
what I'm saying is, I believe I just did a watch all wrestling take, guys. So that's where I'm at. Insert heart emoji at the end of that.
Bro, when it comes to teams that are as good as these three, I don't mind. Man. I don't mind doing the watch all wrestling shit, bro. Like as corny as it is, man. Like FTR and Young Bucks, like the divide between the fan bases got to the point where it's like Young Bucks don't enjoy FTR matches as much, and FTR fans don't enjoy Young Bucks
they're
matches
both
as
so
much.
Good.
It's like, they're both so fucking good. Like,
and so are the Briscoes.
Yeah, then the Briscoes is kind of Briscoes don't really have as well, obviously because of unfortunate things that have been said in the past and stuff. Yeah. Some people are like very, vehemently like against them, but outside of that, pretty much everyone loves the Briscoes, bro. The fucking they're my favorite tag team ever. I think they're definitely in the conversation for the best tag team ever because so where like like when people compare FTR and Bucks, like a lot of people will go to like the Bucks' resume, and obviously they've been together a lot longer, and they'll have like a longer list of classics. Even if you think the FTR ones are better, the Bucks have objectively had like a longer.
I actually went back and looked this up. I think the Young Bucks started getting like 4 and like 8+ rated like cage match scores in like 2008 in Dragon Gate.
Yeah,
So that's how long their thing goes.
Yeah, bro. And that's to my argument. It's like Briscoes have that as well. Briscoes have got like classics that go back like almost 20 years now, bro.
Yeah.
Like Briscoes have been together forever.
There is actually truth to what Manny said. I know you kind of said it in jest of like the team that can do both is the Briscoes, but like there is actually some truth to that. You know, like I saw in London, I saw Briscoes Young Bucks, and they did like I don't want to call it a high spot match, but it was like an up tempo, sequence heavy. You know, both teams were doing like dives and shit, and like they are one of the best teams ever. Absolutely. I mean, for a range of reasons, as we kind of alluded to, like the exposure is less so. They're an incredible team.
Have you seen the Briscoes Young Bucks 2 or 3 falls match where each fall was a different step? I think their first fall was a regular tag. Their second fall was like a tag. I think the second fall was a lucha match, and the third fall was a hardcore match.
When was that? Do you remember?
No, maybe 16 or 17.
Manny doesn't remember yours.
I'm sorry. I thought it was an oracle for a minute. He's putting over a Young Bucks match.
Okay, a few more super chats real quick. Did y'all go over Riddle? Bro, I don't really know what. Like, Riddle apparently got spotted with a new girlfriend who's meant to be a porn star. Beaks was tweeting about his court hearing and stuff. Like, I don't know what's going on with that girl, but it sounds very, you know.
I mean, come on, guys. Why are we shaming Riddle for dating a porn
I think
star,
there's
guys? Come on, grow up.
I think there's a different story that's just broke from what I can gather. I think there's some stuff.
Oh, we got more.
Yeah.
I saw that recently. I saw a comment about that saying that he's
there's a drug test and
What
in rehab?
It appears that he has failed a drug test and is in rehab, which is why he's right off TV. That was via Body Slam. Shout out Cassidy Haynes. That's the report that is being alluded to, I think, with this super chat. So,
well, dear Loki, we appreciate you. Yeah, yes. Cassidy Haynes of Body Slam reports that Matt Riddle actually failed a wellness policy test. Sources have told me that the reason that Matt Riddle failed the drug test leading up to SummerSlam, this was also the last test under the Vince McMahon regime. With Vince McMahon no longer in charge, a new creative direction was taken regarding Riddle, and his big match against Rick Rollins was postponed until Clash at the Castle. Additionally, I was told that the company informed Riddle at the time that another failed drug test would result in a rehab or fight situation similar to what had happened with Jeff Hardy previously. Well,
I gotta say something. I gotta say something real quick. Ring of Honor just posted a video promoting Honor Club, and it's Ethan Page saying his favorite matches, and it showed everybody on the roster, like that was part of Ring of Honor, looking strong in all their clips. And then it shows a clip of Cody Rhodes just getting dumped on his face and all.
Crazy.
Just getting pinned and all that.
Right.
Isra,
my bad.
Isra sent in I don't know if this was meant to be a super sticker or whatever they're called. There's all kind of weird YouTube super chat gimmicks that you can do. But yeah, 99 cents. Appreciate you.
Isra said after that, I think she typed, "You're welcome," I think. So thank you,
bless. Ben Dixon, $2. Joe saying 4-star matches is code for Ospreay.
It's not 5. True. Ospreay gets 5. I'm talking about the Dynamite matches where it's like Jericho tag and Dave goes 4 1/4, and it's like, well, I mean,
I think the craziest match people always forget that happened on Dynamite or even happened in general was the forgotten 5-star match on Dynamite between the Young Bucks and Death Triangle. And when you always bring it up, people are like, "Oh yeah, that was a 5-star match," and I'm like, "Yeah, but nobody remembers it." You know,
that match was incredible. Though, to be fair, I know you bring it up. Yeah, absolutely.
Mad King 199, appreciate you. What if Briscoes joined AEW in place of FTR in 2020? Well, Tony Khan's already got the Briscoes, so it's like if they were going to be in AEW, they would be like in AEW by now. Obviously, there's reasons why they can't be. So,
well, Matt King, Matt King, if somebody asked at the press conference we would know, but nobody ever does. So,
Tony,
everybody wants to ask Tony Khan how his day is.
How do you enjoy Texas, Tony? Yeah, sunny day, It's Christmas coming up. Got any plans?
Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you again. Briscoes versus Aries and Strong in 2006 in Liverpool at ROH Unified. My 5 Briscoes tag match before FTR matches.
Very cool.
Well, it's
Aries
a shame
and
that
Strong.
Austin,
Yeah.
Austin Aries, it's unfortunate because he was genuinely he was one of the best wrestlers in the world in the mid 2000s.
He was unbelievable, even in that fucking TNA title run he had. He was great, but yeah, is what it is.
It's a shame. It's a shame so many wrestlers have to be fucking idiots,
We've still got Roddy Strong.
We've still got Roddy.
I'm always going to remember that Aries dive to the barricade.
Well, Aries was an animal,
He was very good.
In more ways than one. Anyway,
my God, in more ways than one was something. Anything on NXT, Monty?
Apparently, okay. So because it's in the title, we need to flow through this before fucking 1 a.m.
Oh, Tiffany Stratton's coming back, guys.
That was reported a week ago. Anyway, Brock Lesnar versus.
We're trying our best here to encourage you. Come on.
Bro, I'm not even getting to NXT yet, man. Chill.
Right, we've only got 2 minutes. Quickly, Monty. Come on.
Yeah, man. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. Apparently, that's apparently. Manny will literally get fired up on the timeline.
We ain't got the time.
I actually did.
Yeah, it's not even a bit he's been doing today. It's he just randomly started it now. Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. Apparently, that's internally listed as a match that is happening at WrestleMania 39. Obviously, it's a match that Gunther has mentioned in interviews before that he wants. It's a match that a lot of people have fantasy booked for years now, to be honest. Even when he was Walter. Two huge guys who have had their many epics in the past, and it'll be interesting to see how this goes. If Brock, Gunther's obviously going to go out there and he's going to beat Gunther, and he's going to be great. But it's if we can catch Brock in the right mood, we might be onto something fucking unbelievable that goes 7 minutes and is 7 stars.
Needs to be the right conditions, If it's a little bit cold, they walk out there in that big stadium and Gunther fucking chops him across the chest and Brock's not feeling it. It could unravel quick, There's a non-zero chance he throws a chop and Brock goes, well, fuck this, I'm not doing this, Double leg takedown and kicks the shit out of him, and we don't know. That's the beauty of it.
I need Paulie Dangerously to sit down with him the night before, show him his matches, tuck him in a bed, make sure he's fine, wakes up, he has his breakfast, he makes sure he goes outside, the weather's nice, and he's like, he go out there and have a great match, one that everybody remembers, not that he goes out there and has a match like he had with Moxley.
The ceiling of that match is insane. That's an incredible matchup. Yeah, that match could be.
Yeah, the difference between the floor and the ceiling is hilariously large. Yeah,
that's the case. Brock is kind of mercurial.
That is Brock, but Brock, that is.
Even when Brock has a shitty match, he's fun to watch because it's fucking Brock, Yeah,
because he looks like he's hurting someone.
Yeah,
because he probably is.
If Brock goes out there and has a shitter, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do or what I'm gonna say on the Twitter.
Do. Yeah, Brock's version of a shitty match is just a bunch of suplexes, F5, go home, Yeah. And because it's Brock Lesnar delivering those suplexes, even that has a pretty high floor. Do you know what I mean? So, it's Brock, man. He's one of the last wrestlers that you you won't want to bump into. The
last of a dying breed, you would say.
Yeah, I would
Happy
say
birthday, Eddie Kingston, right?
Happy birthday, Eddie Kingston.
But I will say that this is the first thing I did see when I woke up this morning was that graphic, and I said, yeah, this is pornographic.
But
yeah, fair. Cosign. We think it'll be good, was our take there, folks.
Yeah, Brock versus Gunther in the works for WrestleMania 39, according to WrestlingNews.co. Of course, over the weekend as well, there was NXT Deadline, which featured the new Iron Survivor Challenger matches. Roxanne won the women's one. Spoiler alert. Grayson Waller won the men's one. Booker T got very emotional seeing Roxanne. Obviously, if for those who don't know, Booker T was one of the first people who trained Roxanne. She came up through Reality of Wrestling before Ring of Honor. So he's one of Booker T's young bucks, and he got very proud and overfilled with.
You see that, Manny? See that Young Bucks line he dropped in there? Very clever. Good stuff.
I think the only person that saw this pay-per-view was Hangman, and he said it was very good.
Yeah. I want to watch
but,
the new
he's a
match.
drone, so I don't know.
Yeah, the men's on Survivor, loads of people have been talking about how good that was. Bron Breakker and Apollo apparently had a nice tidy main event. Apparently it was a pretty good show, so it's like happy days, I guess, because NXT is it's been through a weird transitional period the past year or so. So hopefully they can go into 2023 strongly. They've kind of got their crop of main talent at this point. Roxanne Perez, you'd probably be pretty safe putting your money on her being the one to dethrone Mandy Rose. Grayson Waller, I don't think he'll be the one to beat Breaker. I personally think that should be Mello. But
isn't do you not want to call Mello up at some point?
I'm not in a rush to call up Mello because I'm pretty I want to see a Carmelo Hayes NXT Championship run. That's something I do. There's definitely people down in NXT who I think could just bypass the World Championship reign, but I think he's definitely someone I think I myself and I think fans of his as well want to see him be the main guy on the show. It feels like something they should do with him. But if they called him up, I wouldn't blame him because I think Melo's great. I think he's good TV. But obviously Grayson Waller was the big winner coming out of the pay-per-view, and I think Grayson Waller will be a main roster mainstay as he develops in his career. He's a good talker. He can work. He's not going to light the world on fire or anything, in my opinion, but he can only get better. He brings something different to the table. I kind of look at him as a more modern day Miz almost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the way that he carries himself and his character work and stuff like that. But he's a much better worker and a bit more dynamic and stuff like that. So
I actually like the talent quite a bit. The packaging and presentation I struggle with still a little bit. The look, I think, not his look physically, the way his attire and stuff, I just don't. Every time I see it strikes me as insanely undercard. But I think he's a good talent. I mean, this money because I famously had him on the same scouting report segment as Solo Sikoa, who you thought was bad. I was right about that one, so yeah.
Got a quick another super chat. Darren Walker, £4, appreciate you. Will WrestlePurists Awards have a worst segment of the year? Mine is AJ Galante with Tony D'Angelo and NXT. It was Car Crash TV. So this is where we see anything with AJ Galante and Tony D'Angelo and NXT 2.0. I thought was fucking amazing.
Who's AJ Galante?
He's
Hooper.
Yeah, he's a hooper. Honestly, he's a hooper. What was I gonna say, man? I've lost where I was.
He's the last of a dying breed, man.
AJ.
For
the WrestlePurists Awards, we're not doing any worst of the year. We're not doing any of that. I've never really been a big fan of even when Dave does it on the Observer Awards. It's what did you won worst segment of the year or worst rest of the year or most overrated? It's no one wants to win that. And what do we as a fandom or a platform or whatever get out of that? Do you know what I mean? It's there's not much to gain from it, Ibu said Solo is real. Listen, bro, you've I'm assuming I'm just gonna take a wild guess and guess that you didn't watch SmackDown or Raw this week. Bro, the way Solo Sikoa was clearing people out is
honestly, mate.
Unreal.
I would like to have watched it. I just have a little time. I haven't watched Ramp. I haven't watched Takeshita and Moxley yet.
So at the start, Raw opens with the Bloodline pulling into the arena, and then Riddle zooms past on the scooter, and they're all "Whoa, watch where you're going" and everything. Then Elias just kind of appears out of his trailer. and Solo Sikoa just kicks the shit out of him.
That sounds good.
Then Elias can't make the match, and that's literally how Raw starts. And then after the match with Matt Riddle and Kevin Owens, I'm sure you've already seen that Solo Sikoa is the person that wrote Riddle off TV. And then he dealt with Rich Holland earlier. I mean, he dealt with Rich Holland in the match on Friday. Bro, anyone he comes in contact with, he's fucking killing them at the moment.
The only thing I heard about Raw, so I watched last week on Raw. I watched the Asuka match, and I was told by multiple people to avoid the main event. I was told it was not very good. Was it good, Monty? We'll close this.
The Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, there was one part of the match that was not...
Alexa Bliss won, so fucking what do you want from me? You know?
Oh wait, the Hooper of the Week.
Oh my god, the Hooper of the Week.
Yeah,
do we have graphics?
We don't. Unless
I sent.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, no, we do.
It's not my best stuff, you know. This is I don't really know what to do, guys.
I don't know, bro. I think
oh no,
Jesus Christ.
I think the wording was my best part of this.
Is that?
Oh no!
Is that dumb?
Oh dear.
Oh fuck,
folks, stay with us here. We know Raw's about to start. We're going to end with Manny's Hooper of the Week. This just
if you're gonna leave to watch Raw, just don't do that because I want to watch Raw too. But when something's worth it, it's worth it.
I started to make my graphics more like comic book panels or comic panels. I like writing them. Oh,
right. So Hooper of the Week, Manny, do you want to build up some hype?
Hooper of the Week is a man that does not fear skinny white guys in face paint. They like to skateboard. He likes to destroy them on their.
Okay.
He likes to destroy them on their trunks. And then he likes to go into a final battle and send him home crying to his wife. That guy. So
what did you say his name? Send him home. That guy.
I forgot his name for a second.
I forgot Juice Robinson. That's crazy.
He made this Juice Man juiceless, and Orange Cassidy, you've been put on notice. Just see what he did to Juice. He's gonna make orange juice out of you. And the Hooper of the Week is the Tyrant, the TV champion, Samoa Joe.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Yeah, see, this is what I feel like. Even though there's no Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician, this might be one of your finest pieces. I'll be honest.
Bro, the corners, like the Kobashi to Triple H in ones, that's wild, man. It's a wild diagonal line you draw there, Beautiful art, man. Tony's facial expression. The shot of Eva Tony for that matter.
Benita, I'm gonna start. This is what I'm gonna start doing with the Hooper of the Week graphic as well. I'd like the live chat to give a rating out of 10 for the piece of art that Manny drops every week because Manny puts a lot of work into this and he needs the feedback.
Oh my god! I only just saw Darby.
Bro, that's what I always said about.
I'm sorry.
I like what I wrote to Tony Storm. Like, don't be sad. At least Joe didn't think you're worth killing like Darby.
Real graps.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Real graps.
There you go. Hooper of the Week.
Hooper of the Week is Samoa Joe because, of course, Showtime Spurs $5 appreciate it. Compared to this, the Mona Lisa looks like it was drawn by children. I agree. We've got real talents over here at WrestlePurists, so
can't wait to meet them.
We got anything else we want to talk about before we get out of here? I know Raw's about to start, and we've just lost like 20 viewers, but not everyone cares about Raw around here.
Did we talk about Karl Anderson yet?
Potential NXT call-ups. Cameron Grimes and I think Von Wagner was the other person that was spoke about.
Wait, Cameron Grimes is still
Cameron Grimes would
NXT?
be fun. Cameron Grimes is potential to be very solid TV. I think. I thought the stuff he was doing with Ted DiBiase, but popped me huge. It's just it's hard because the novelty wears off, you know. But he's a good wrestler, man. He's a good wrestler, so hopefully they do call him up sooner rather than later because it has been something that's been floating around for a while. You know, Cameron Grimes, NXT call-up. It's about time. Good for him. Hopefully he gets that big man roster pay boost.
It's unfortunate that the NWA has lost Kylie Ray to the World Federation.
That'll be interesting if she does actually sign with WWE. It's a redemption story, man. Like, I know Manny's doing a bit.
What just happened to Manny? Why did Manny just forget what the WWF is called? What? Did I just imagine that? Or did you just say the World Federation?
We've got art ratings. We have art ratings.
Okay.
8, 10, 9.5, 100, 11, 10, 9.88. A few more 10s. Got 37, 13.4, 69. Pop.
Pop.
But yeah, man, Kylie Ray. Like, I know Manny brought it up, like popping himself and stuff, but like, if WWE does actually like, because apparently she was like at tryouts or something or rather. If Kylie Ray does actually sign a contract, whether that's AEW, WWE or whatever, obviously it's like a redemption story.
Awesome.
As people who may not know, she's had like a lot of issues with addiction and those sort of things, and I believe it's alcohol addiction, which is an absolute like nightmare, you know, for the people close to her and obviously her herself. So she does make it to signing a contract with a major promotion. She's great. Like a lot of people remember her from like All In and like I think even believe like early AEW days. She's really good, man. And she's really likable, and she always gets over. And you know, she good for her. You know,
people can remember her
been clean for a while now. And Kiwi says in the last chat she deserves the award, and she does. She seems like a really great person. So
she was on Main Event. So I mean, people don't know Kylie Ray was on AEW for a month. Then she was on Impact for a while. Then the NWA, where the NWA turned her as a heel, which was, NWA stuff. And then now she's on WWE. So, she also wrestled GCW. So, you know, everybody congratulate her wherever you see her. And just on Twitter. And then have a great night.
Well, yeah, man. Who for the week? Obviously, the most important award of this platform. We got anything we want to plug before we get out of here, Manny?
At Machine Gun KA on Twitter. Monday Night Raw featuring Alexa Bliss, which is airing now. Manny, anything to plug?
I'm still looking for you, Nigel. If you see this, hit my DMs. Besides that, nothing.
God bless. Look how many viewers we've lost. This is perfect.
Don't go live tomorrow.
Don't go live tomorrow.
Real graps.
And, real graps. Real wrestling brains, you know.
They watch the wrestling they talk about. Don't just pretend.
Yeah.
I can't relate.
Anyway, please like, subscribe. We've appreciated all the super chats. Darren Walker, one last one. £5, appreciate it. First time I saw Kylie Ray was her great matches with Tessa Blanchard. I hope she gets signed. She's great. Definitely co-sign that.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, man. Let's
Nigel,
get out
please
here.
come home.
Please,
Honor is real. Honor has home.
At WrestlePurists on Twitter. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Honor Club.
Merry Christmas.
Manny the Hooper. Joe Hulbert. Myself. Peace.